not saying he did it, but Adam Schiff, for example, probably gave the wink and nod to his staffers to go ahead and leak it to the press. Adam Schiff probably, this is not saying that Adam Schiff did it, but he has a history of leaking that he gave the wink and nod to his staffers to do it. This is something, and they used the same reporter. It was the same reporter that did the Fine hoax, the Fine People hoax of that. The same reporter who did the Suckers and Losers, the same reporter who said that COVID did not come from a lab, the same reporter who, there was another one, Hunter Biden laptop, and that's the same reporter. All 5 of these things, all 5 of these bad reports have come from the same reporter. So that reporter obviously is getting information from either individuals within Congress, which this one was, but some of these other ones were information that she received probably from FBI contacts. And so what would be a great idea is if we could actually help start sealing some of these leaks that are happening around these areas, right? And of course, there's only so much you can do to prevent these, but the great way to prevent leaks from happening is actually prosecuting those leakers, right? Prosecuting the people who are sharing the sensitive information that is classified info, which is a crime, right? That would be the right way to do it. That's how once people see that people are being held accountable, people are being held accountable for crimes, normally crime starts to drop in those areas. When they see police out, for example, in a bad neighborhood, and they start cracking down on like the crime, whatever that crime might be, that crime soon starts to drop, and other crimes around it starts to drop because there's a presence of law enforcement. There's a presence there of enforcing the law. And so when you start to see, when these elected officials start to see their staffers going to jail, there's going to be a moment of pause to see whether or not it's worth risking being prosecuted and sent to prison. That's what it's coming down to. And President Trump is pretty clear about that. It's time to prosecute, he says. Time to prosecute. There's no more time of this. This is a different President Trump. This isn't the President Trump from 2016, 2017, where he was kind of getting into it and had a lot of people around him that were swamp, deep state, and a lot of people who were trying to hijack the administration, right? This is the President Trump that has been through all of this. This is the President Trump they jailed. This is the President Trump that they took to court multiple different times. This is the President Trump that they shot at once and was unsuccessful in taking him out, and almost shot again with the other assassin that showed up in Mar-a-Lago, right? This is the President Trump that has been through all of these things. And when he says that maybe it's time to prosecute, and he didn't even use the word maybe, I did. He says time to prosecute, then I assure you, he's probably already talked to Pam Bondi of the DOJ. He's probably already talked to Cash and Dan Bongino and said, dude, you guys got to get on this. There has to be some type of blowback. There has to be blowback on this. There has to be some type of justice. There has to be some type of accountability that is going to take place here with these individuals. If not, then what are we doing? What are we going to allow Democrat staffers or Democrat senators or Democrat congressmen to continue to get away with these things who believe that they're above the law? They screeched for years, no one's above the law. No one's above the law, as they went after Trump, as he was a regular citizen, as they went after him for impeachments. Remember the 2 trials he had to be put on? Inciting violence, inciting a mob. He used language that was too fiery. Remember? And there's records of obviously all of them using that same type of language. And so there's a moment now where Trump has to respond. The DOJ has to respond. The FBI has to respond. There has to be something that takes place after this. We right now have a congresswoman right now who is being tried at the moment for assaulting an ICE officer. If you guys remember from last month, right?